Very good evening, friends. I am Nalini Swami, welcoming to my channel Smart Index Edge. What are all the things I look into my trade is first thing, when I saw the market moving down, breaching this low, that is 22,284, it was a gap down and it started breaching this low. I am on the hourly chart and this level, this was the low formed on 30th. 30th was the closing day of the month. That is March 30th level. So this is the closing of the month and the April month, we are on the 2nd of April. 1st of April, it moved higher. This is the previous month's close, low. So this level was in my mind and I was keenly watching. I have applied my indicator, Nalini EMA indicator. It will tell me the current week's low and high and current month high and low. So on the 3rd hour, can you see over here? It started crossing the level 22,290 around to 12:15. That is an indication that this is the liquidity sweep which the big money has done. This is the stop loss hunting. They have done it. Because after this low, market gapped up and nobody would have thought it will gap down this much. They gapped down below this low and they took the liquidity. If I change the time frame to this level, you can see clear liquidity sweep. Market from the open, it moved down and later during the day, 3rd hour, the market pushed higher. The correct buying came on the 3rd hour. So let me disable my Nalini indicator so that I can show you Nalini Precision Engine. That is with the rolling pivot. I have improved that indicator. Let me apply the indicator on the 15 minutes chart. Okay. See, it automatically plots these levels, catching the initial 15 minutes, this one, pivots, and it automatically plots, this is the pivot. See where it is. 22,283 is the pivot. And this is the R1, R2, S1 and S2. They are color coded. You can make out that. Why initially I did not include this one S2 and R2. Then I noticed when we are trading on the options, we need S2 also. That is where we do start making mistake. I'll show it to you why. See, it automatically gave the pivot. Around 12 p.m. also, these pivots lines will come. Pivot around 12 p.m. It catches the 12:15 candle. This one pivots and it marks the pivot R1, R2, S1, S2. This will act as guideline for your trade. That is the trade. You got confirmed here. This was the previous month low. This was the low on 30th. And when the price started entering this is the liquidity sweep. And 12:15, you get the correct signal and you are entering into this. entering into the trade, you can see for the first time in this hour, 4 hours, second hour, that is second hour, the price crossing the pivot. That is an indication. Even though trend has not changed, price has moved above the pivot. That is first indication that it is making higher high. You can see this was the low, this was the lower high, and it made an higher high. When compared to this is change of character, price action. Many people do not know price action reading. For that, for them, this is the indicator which I created. If I come to the call option, let me go to the 5 minutes. Let me change it to 5 minutes. This indicator gives even the stocks also. Let me disable the stock table. Let me go back and screener table. Let me take it out where it is. Inputs. I'll take it out so that you can see the price action very clearly. Here, see, underlying was not going below the support. There comes the, see, it was not going below the support, but the call option, it was moving below the support. I selected out of the money call option when the market was around 22,000, 21,200, 280. I've selected 22,600 because nowadays VIX is very high and the premiums are very high. And I anticipated for this call option to become in the money or at the money call option. The ranges are very high nowadays. See the beauty of this. Let me take out this, and here around, see, it came down, same structure, it popped out of the, mimicking the same underlying price action. Coming out of the second hour, coming out of the R1 box. This is an indication. This is powerful. Here itself, this is R2, this is R1. This is a powerful indication, and the pivot is here. Pivot is here. You are getting a buy signal. See that. See that. And it made an high and it made a low. Low of 132, 136 or something. If I place the 136. But in the 12 p.m., this yellow box, what you are seeing, pivot, R1, R2. Even if you are scared of it, you could have entered conformably above this. Here, the pivot has come over here on the chart itself. If I make the diagram a little bit lighter, you can see the pivot clearly. Let me make it, go and make the box, color box, little bit lighter. You can do that if by going this layer to fill. You can do this. Or you can choose little bit darker color in this and you can do this. It will be highlighted. But I wanted a different color so that session highlight will be clear. That's why I made it yellow. So you can make yellow and you can see the pivot here. Pivot from the rolling pivot, and pivot picked up from the, this was blue line picked up from the 12-15 candle. 12-15 candle it picks up. This is the beauty. Automatically it has been coded. See, once you enter into the trade, we are entering here at the bottom, not anywhere. I am not going to try to enter here or anything because I will not miss the entry. Proper entry I will try to enter. When I enter properly, my stop loss will be very minimal. See, this is the pivot. You can keep the stop loss to this support. Stop loss to support, that is you are not going to lose anything. Stop loss will be there and your stop loss will not be hit. Even if you would have entered around this area, around 140, your stop loss will be here. So you need not fear. With a very minimal stop loss, let it ride. Let the market show the direction. We cannot anticipate market to move 22,700 or 22,800. That's what happened in the market. It came almost to the area from where it has broken down from the previous day. It has filled the gap, almost filled the gap, not completely. You can see, yeah, it has filled the gap. It has completely filled the gap. And it has come to the support level from the previous day, from where it had broken. This is the 12 p.m. as well as the initial 15 minutes, opening bell 15 minutes support. S1, S2, it has broken and it tried to move up to this. Finally, they have closed at the level of 22,713. They moved up to 22,782. High was 22,782. That is the beauty. You get proper entry. You will not be. This is how I was able to cash the. Even if you could have gone for very cheap call option, let me show you 22,800 call option. You could have entered with ease. When you get an entry, proper entry, you could have entered over here around this area. This is popping out. The notice, that is, the high was 93 and the low on that candle was 81. So you can keep the candle low as a stop loss. And here 12 p.m., 12:15 p.m., it is crossing these levels. That is around 112. It rallied up to, you can see the magic. It has gone up to 240. Where 82, where 240. This is how you can trade better with conviction, with the indicator. I've taken care of all these things. This is how, you need not worry whether it is a gap down or gap up. You can trade with conviction. This is the beauty of my Nalini Precision Engine. Thank you very much, friends. Nalinakshi Swami signing off.